Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. This is a special live broadcast after hours. Not normally here doing this, but we have great news tonight. We've just heard the war is over in Israel. Peace has now been declared. We're going to talk about it. We've got somebody here who is directly from Israel. We're going to hear all about it. We've just heard Joe Biden announce that the peace talks have been accepted by tomorrow morning. Everything is over. We're going to get live phone-ins. People share their opinions and thoughts. We're going to go over to live news as it breaks. We've just heard about this live on the show. You saw how the market then rallied into the close. They like it. So we've got Zach Zait, who is from Israel, now living as a citizen in the United States. He's waiting to call in and share his thoughts with me. So just allow me a couple of seconds to make a couple of refinements and adjustments, because we've just set this up. We have just heard, it's just minutes away, and we sincerely hope this is real and it holds. Zach Zait, will tell you, is just waving his head at me, saying this is not the end of the war, but we're going to hear from him and who would know better. So that would be great, and we're going to keep our eye on everything as it comes out. The markets are loving it. I did say that the market would pump on this news, and it has, and it is. But we've got Zach Zait on standby. I'm going over to all my news sources. You can see the market go. Let me go into some live news. I'm going to bring Zach Zait on the phone in a moment as well, so please stand by for that. This is what's happening right now. Stand by, Zach.
Israel-Lebanon border. So there's enormous amount of concern
Cabinet approved ceasefire
deal.
deal.
Israel that this might be nothing but a temporary truce. In Lebanon, it's very different. They are enormously relieved after some months of heavy bombardment of their cities and villages.
Okay, I will come back to the news. We're going to be covering this. We could be here for quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our guest in now. So let me just mute the news for a moment. This is supposed to take effect in the morning. But what I'm going to do now is bring in our guest live on the show. So let me assign Zach Zait a guest spot. There he is. We're going to hear from a gentleman now from Israel. Zach Zait, how are you feeling right now? We've just heard this news. I saw you shaking your head. It's not over. What's your opinion? What's going on? No one knows better than you. Talk to me, Zach.
Hi, shalom, peace, and for the whole world to live in harmony and together with only good thoughts and only with a good mind. So today, after a long time, Israel, as history known, surrounded with 5 Arabic countries. The war in Lebanon has been just called for a hold the fires and stop fire. The Israeli troops has been got into the Lebanon territory about few months ago and start clearing and collect weapons and all the way into the big cities, when the same time Lebanon kept attack with the forces of the Hezbollah, the state of Israel. The Lebanon location north of Israel is a very strategy spot that have altitude to get into the central Israel, and with the closer to Iran, which can supply all that weapon, they have much easier conditions to come and attack Israel. So that's a big call, I believe, for Biden to make his last call of his presidentially, and he want to stop. Everybody want to get that wars to stop, and we all demand peace. But the war started down at the south area, which was Gaza, and Gaza goes with the borders with Egypt. Egypt that goes with Africa, the south of Israel. The war is still on. Over there we have the Hamas forces, and the Hamas started on October 7, more than 413 days ago. They broke the borders of Israel, got into Israel, and murderized more than 1,300 people, kidnapped more than 200, almost 300 people, that still 100 are still captured in the Gaza area under terrible conditions as a war, basically civil prisoners. And
Okay, so what you're saying is there's a ceasefire. We've got a ceasefire in Lebanon now, but this is not, the war is still continuing in Gaza, correct? Do you see that this ceasefire that we're expecting to start in the morning, do you not think it will move, sort of transcend across to Gaza? The peace will just come across the whole region? Do you think that's likely to happen now?
I think that the change of government, and I mentioned Biden want to make the move that will be written on his name, and Trump already mentioned Iran is coming in on January, and he will make the force to stop the war. So in both cases, they want to stop the war, and they've done their best. I think that right now, signing that agreement, and Lebanon, which hasn't been the one who started it, she joined it on the matter of the Hezbollah, that Iran is controlling them.
What is
So
your
Israel has
thoughts?
been,
Sorry to interrupt. There's so much news coming in. I'm trying to digest it as it's coming in and bring everything in and answer everyone's questions. I want you to stay on the line, keep coming back to you if you can. There's calls now for Netanyahu to be arrested for crimes to humanity and war crimes. How do you feel about that? I know you are originally from Israel, but how do you feel about Benjamin Netanyahu being under arrest if he arrives in certain countries? How does that make you feel? You agree with that or not?
the UN in Europe, Hague, the court that put basically Netanyahu cannot stop in any European state. And I'm laughing because they want to come. It's Netanyahu and Gallant, which Gallant want to come to the US, and he cannot have emergency stop in the Europe if he needs to get here. So they're planning how to get there with one flight. So, but um, it is in Europe already. It's been in Europe for a long time, and if Europe will have the control over the peace inside their countries, everything should be just fine. So I think Europe does come to protect itself in a way different of what's the war demanding or the way the US
Can I
required them.
Thank you. Please stay on the line. I've just got some breaking news. Israel and Lebanon approved ceasefire, and the moment they did, there's been an explosion. Israel have fired on Beirut. This is just happening live. You can give me your thoughts to all this as it happens. So if you can stay on the line, I'd appreciate it.
Enormous amount of damage. Now, the Israelis have, there's been a number.
This explosion has just
Israelis
happened
killed
seconds ago.
And soldiers. Only today, actually, an IDF soldier was severely wounded on a drone attack in an Israeli base. But the Lebanese toll is far greater. And about 1.2
Stock market is rallying on this news,
Lebanese
still going up.
Displaced, thought to be displaced. Around 300,000 have fled over the border into Syria. And so it has taken an enormous toll on Lebanon. I think the figures of those displaced are far greater even than in 2006. So, of course, they will be looking upon this with great relief. But everybody is thinking whether or not this ceasefire can survive more than a matter of weeks or months.
Yeah, Ali, as you say, we'll be watching developments very closely. You're looking at live pictures right now of Beirut, where we understand there have been continued air.
So as we can see, as we can see, Zach, this is still an extremely volatile situation. It's not everyone sitting around the campfire.
I'm sorry, but
holding
it's
hands.
not the whole pictures, because there's sirens in Israel right now for missiling from Lebanon at the same time. So I think the order should sink in. As I mentioned, the attack on Israel has been for ages. There is missiles on the Israeli property for so long. It's not just the war that started. It's something that we're trying to end since Israel declared itself. But everybody got used to it. But right now, as we speak, there are sirens in Israel at the same time, because they're throwing missiles. The Israel have the ability to target those missiles and get them out in the air. And of course, the Israeli have the right to defend itself as a country with their IDF and the support of the US. But it is not the whole picture, because the same time it goes on the other
Yes, of
side.
course. Well, that's why we're trying to, why people can phone in, talk to me. We can show all the different news outlets at the same time. We're learning as we go. This is a very fluid situation, but thank you for being part of it. Stay on the line if you want to. I'd love to have your input as I bring you more stuff as it happens. I've just got this. This has just arrived just 30 seconds ago. We've just got this information here. Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron have released a joint statement following the announcement that there will be a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. The statement says that Israel and Lebanon have accepted a cessation of hostilities after many weeks of tireless diplomacy. This announcement will create the conditions to restore lasting calm and allow residents in both countries to return safely to their homes on both sides of the blue line, it adds. The United States and France will work with Israel and Lebanon to ensure this arrangement is fully implemented and enforced, and remain determined to prevent... Oh, hang on a minute. That's literally just changed. We got news just in there. Where was I? Implemented and enforced, and remain determined to prevent the conflict from becoming another cycle of violence. The statement adds that both the US and France will commit to leading international efforts of capacity building of the Lebanese armed forces, as well as economic development throughout Lebanon, to advance stability and prosperity in the region. And as I was reading that, we had the Prime Minister of Israel, this is seconds ago now, the Security Cabinet this evening in a 10-1 vote approved the US proposal for a ceasefire against Lebanon. That's what this is, against Lebanon. This is not an end to the whole war. This is a war between Lebanon and Israel is a ceasefire, but the war in Gaza is continuing. Israel appreciates the US contribution to the process and maintains its right to act against any threat to its security. That just came in literally a second ago. We'll keep our eye on that as things update. As I said when we got this breaking news, expect the market to rally. It is. We are at all-time highs once again on the S&P. Our portfolio is up. You can see. Look how the market is gone up on this news. How will it continue? Well, only time will tell. But I want to go back to, if anybody else wants to call in, the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, you can be live on the show. As Zach, we can have up to 10 people on at once. If you'd like to call in, what's your thought about this tonight? Ceasefire just in time for Christmas between Israel and Lebanon. Great news. No one's ever going to be upset about that. But of course, it's not over in Gaza. Just before, I know you want to speak to me. Let me just give everybody the link there. It's, that's the wrong one. The live phone-in. I'd love to get everybody on the phone, join Zach's 8 tonight, so we get perspectives from all over the world. We've got 66 countries now, I think it is. martynlucas.com/live. There is the link, and here is the password. LucasAids 100, which is uppercase L, uppercase A. I put it in the chat. I've pinned it in there 3 times so you can see it. Please do click on that and call in. What's your thoughts now? Talk to me, Zach's 8.
So you can see how funny it is, because Israel, in a reaction, not even one word about Macron and France. So the US mentioned we and Macron because France won't allow to Benjamin Netanyahu to get into France now. So they in between the UN and the US. So Israel did not mention anything about France because they still got a bad issue with the UN, not allowing him to get in there.
There's
It's a funny situation.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of moving parts going on here at once, and we are, digesting it as it comes in. I'm just keeping my eye on other stories. Bloomberg aren't talking about it at the moment. This has just happened. Let me check my other sources and see what's going on. If anybody wants to call in, got a few comments here. Let me just answer some of these comments as well. Florian, hello guys, welcome to you. TS, hi. I am in Jerusalem. If you want peace, Netanyahu needs to go, says BKNY, Boss for Life. Primster, what should I buy right now before tomorrow morning? I would be buying the S&P. You should already be in. You shouldn't react to this. This is the point, guys. For an investment point of view, you buy on the dips. I bought when the war started, not when it ends. That's the very definition of not investing. That's investing on your head. All right. You don't react. You be proactive. You know what you want. When there's macro conditions which drive the market down, then you buy. If you buy now, this is great, I'm going to buy the stock market, all you're doing is giving your money to me. With greatest respect. Isn't that right, Zach? Because I bought it when it went down.
Yeah.
Anyone buys it now is giving it to me because the stock can go up and up and up. I'm already in profit. I can sell, others like me, and then drive it down, and you've just bought it at the top going, well, that's rubbish. I thought this was great news. It is great news, but you should buy when the problem started, not when the problem started to become solved. That's the very definition of gambling, craziness, and nonsense. If you buy it now, you have to...
If I may, you should not buy on an earning day. You should not buy just because somebody told you. You
Correct.
should not buy because it's a big potential or you believer or you got visions and you in luck or God or beliefs. No, you don't buy like that. But if you buy, I call it, sometimes you don't even buy. If you are a investor, you collect.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Everyone gets a voice here. Everyone now, the comments are getting very heated. Some people are, I can't share everyone's comment on the screen. Now, I can tell you, Zach Zay is a very reliable source, a friend of the channel, and would not be here inflating or exaggerating anything. He said a few moments ago, there are sirens in Israel. Someone has just come into the chat, BKNY, and said, I am in Israel. And there are no sirens. Let me be clear. Israel is a country. It's a large country, right? There may not be sirens in your town or your city, but there is somewhere else. So we're not saying there are no sirens in Israel. We've just been told there are. And as far as I'm concerned, I am happy with that. Jared wants to call in. Now, Jared is in the green room wanting to have his say tonight. Jared, I can only let in members of the channel. If you are a member of the channel, just go into the YouTube chat, make a comment, and I will see if you have a badge against your name. If you have a badge against your name, I can see you're a member and I can let you in. So Jared, I can see you in the green room. I can bring you on if you are a member. We have to have tight security here for all kinds of reasons. So if you are a member, please go into the YouTube chat, say hello. I can see, there you are, Jared, there you are. You need to become a member so we can verify you that you are real, and all the rest of it. And you're here for the right intentions. Become a member. It's only a couple of bucks. You can be live on the show, but we do have to have, it's one of the members' perks. They can call in. If we have anybody call in, can you imagine the chaos we would be in? Lupus in Fabula. What's the purpose of this one-sided narrative? Honestly, talking about missiles over Israel, not mentioning Israel's responsibilities. Lupus. Everybody, we're not talking. There's no one-sided conversation here. This is everyone can have a say. Everyone can call in. Everyone's comments being read out. If you've got information, please share it with me. This is not a one-sided mission. You know, I'm not on anyone's side. I don't have shares in Israel or shares in Lebanon. I'm not trying to promote Israel or put down Lebanon or vice versa. I'm here to provide the news for everyone accurately as possible. So if you have a comment, some information, feel free, call in, be part of it. But don't say this is a one-sided argument, because that's ridiculous, because everyone's here. Should I buy NVIDIA now? Well, no. You should already be in and now enjoying the bonus. You should not buy now. Come on, guys. What for the last 3 years, has anyone learned anything? We are investors. We buy when it's down and we enjoy when it goes up. We don't chase it when it goes up. What's the point of that? Vanessa said Mobix is now up. Did tell everybody this was I gave you as much of a hint as I possibly could. Anyway, Vanessa, Zach's smiling at me going, Martyn knows something.
I like technology.
Technology.
Everything with technology you should buy. Everything with technology you should buy. And I do believe fuel, we are in the travel season. All the flights, everything booked, a lot of fuel. So yeah. I do still believe fuel going to be back.
Yeah, look at the market still rallying. We said exactly this. It's going up and up and up. We're breaking records every 5 minutes now. 133,405 started with $5,000. And remember the compounding effect.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I can't believe it. I've never seen so much money. I know you're used to this sort of money. This is what you get in a tip every day. But for me, I've never seen money like it. So it's like, bloody hell. I can't believe it. Anyway, now, someone has just mentioned Songs for Space. It's worth discussing this. Yes, we could see profit taken before Thanksgiving. Let's not get too carried away, right? We're not here on Thursday. There's a bank holiday. It's Thanksgiving. Absolutely correct. What normally happens is if we have a bad situation, this is not a bad situation. This is a good situation. People sell on the Friday because a war could break out on the Saturday. That happens. However, this is not really a bad news story. This is a good news story. So I wouldn't want to be selling the market for what? For what reason? You think it's all going to go back the other way? No. Well, we've got a ceasefire. We want to go with that, and we want to believe that's right. So that's like shorting the market. If you want to short the market right now, going, I think the ceasefire will last 3 minutes, and then on Thursday, when we're all having our turkey, World War III will break out. I mean, you can take that view if you want, but I regard that as a bit silly and a bit pessimistic, and rather than being looking at the actual facts, would be a bit crazy. I wouldn't do that. What do you think of Palan? Palantir. Palantir is great, Gerard. It's just too expensive, though. Don't buy it now. You should have already bought it. This is not the time to be buying on a pump. It's the same old story, really, as Zach said, really. Buy NVIDIA, nothing wrong with taking a position now if you want to. No, nothing wrong with taking a position in NVIDIA. I absolutely agree. But as an investor, I'm not looking to buy when everybody else is buying. I'm looking to be holding when everybody else is buying and buying when everybody else is selling. I will remind you, though, that the price has dipped since we had the, what was the news? What was the reason? I can't remember now. I've slept since then. But NVIDIA did break down through the 140. Now, again, real investors, we do know that NVIDIA is great, and we've reported lots on it today, but at the end of the day, NVIDIA now could go lower. It's broken support. So just be wary of that. This is good news today, and we do know that Israel has some NVIDIA business and factories and property. That's right, isn't it, Zach? There. So this is good news for them, of course, but I would say the overall market is the way to go, not individual stocks right now. That's why I love the S&P 500. I bought lots of shares of Mobix. I'm up 26% now, Vanessa. Congratulations. Consider taking some money off the table. I'm just sharing that with you. We've got the NVIDIA. We've got the Mobic's earnings coming up shortly, and I'm going to be asking a question on an official earnings. Not quite sure how that's going to work, because I'm going to be broadcasting it and then going, hang on, guys, I've got to phone into this broadcast and I've got to get on the phone and ask a question. I feel quite honoured, actually. Quite humbled by the whole experience. So as we approach earnings, you might want to be thinking of taking a profit. As Zach just mentioned, don't buy on those conditions. You want to already be in. Take some profit, get your seed money out, have money to buy back on a pullback. Because remember, no matter how great an earnings are, there's always some there's always some element of disappointment. Nvidia experiences it a lot recently. I bought Nvidia 135 euros, 28 cents. Ryan. Should I sell and buy when this is down lower again? If you want to be a member, call into the show and I can discuss your position, but I can't give financial advice. Can someone who isn't watching the market all day like you, someone who isn't watching the market all day like you really make something happen? I got luck listening to channels like this, but I'm not really sure I understand the question. You don't have to watch all day. You don't have to study the stock market all day. You could just buy the S&P and just focus on earning money and just every week drop it in there. You don't have to watch it every day. I don't know what your question is, though. Okay. Now then, let me see if I've got any more news. I'm going to come back to Zach Zay. This is a great evening. 1 minute ago, so maybe you might want to react to this, Zach Zay. This has just come in seconds ago. This is literally 1 minute ago, broken. Few people in Israel confident in deal. There's a few people in Israel confident in the deal. So not many people believe that this is going to happen. Few people in Israel share Joe Biden's confidence in the ceasefire deal. Our Middle East correspondent Alistair Bunkle says, he's just a few moments ago. He says even if there are Israelis who are supportive of a deal, they don't think will necessarily be long term. Bunkle says there is enormous amount of concern in Israel that this might be nothing but a temporary truce. In Lebanon, it's very different. They are enormously relieved after months of heavy bombardments of their villages that there will finally be some calm, he adds, over the weeks following. That we will expect to see Hezbollah pull back, and in turn, Israeli forces will then return to Israeli territory. Bunkle adds. I'm going to ask our guests, and if anybody else wants to call in, please feel free. You, Zach Zay, as being from Israel, how do you feel? Do you feel that this truce is going to hold up, or is it just a temporary thing? What's your thoughts?
So, as I earlier said, the Israeli forces already in the land of Lebanon. In a matter to go inside their land, the order just sink. It will take time to clear the forces out. And the moment that order has been done to get the forces out, it takes a while. And I'm sure that it will sink in and there will be a hold fire because the government does have 100% control over the army. Over the other side, if it's the Hezbollah or if it's from Iran, again, they should cooperate with the decision of Macron and Biden. So government does have their forces to control this world, and they should take on and make that call. I do believe that if the forces will leave the land and go back to the property of Israel, should clear up the situation to a let's call it cold peace again between Israel and Lebanon.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Stay with me. Oh, I've got a new member here. Oh, hang on.
Tempomatic has become a member.
Tempomatic, I was just talking to you a moment ago, has become a silver member. So let me just take a moment to welcome you to becoming a member of the family. There's nearly coming up to 300. Maybe no, hang on, it's more than that. I think it's nearly 400 actually. I was getting numbers wrong. Let me give you all your benefits just for a moment. In the chat, go and make sure that you watch the members video. That will explain everything you get. Now, I'm guessing because you become silver, you've probably been watching the show for a while, you know a bit more about it. As a silver member, you can go on the homepage of my channel if you request it. I will do it live on the show and get everyone to subscribe to your YouTube channel. And that's one of the things that you get as a silver member. You can also have a 20-minute gig as well on my music channel for a birthday or whatever as a silver member. There are many other things that you get extra as a silver member above and beyond the bronze. Would everybody please welcome Tempomatic? You can now call in. If you want to be on the show, you can call in. There's the Discord. Link if you want to get the free training from Sensei. Sensei will do crypto, but Ed Nevius does your scalp trading for you. There's your free stocks of Robinhood, UK and the USA. I will now engage with you on X and Instagram. Here's the music channel. You can have a free song request on Friday, a birthday song in the show. Look below for all the members-only videos, members-only live streams, many, many things. If there's anything you want to know, please ask me and I'll do that. And what country are you from as well? Vanessa says, best channel in the world. Thank you very much. Got another. In it great. Can you believe it? We're going to be at 40,000 subscribers, I think, on Friday. That'll be 1,000 in 6 days.
Unbelievable. Season 4 is incredible.
It's
Extra.
nuts.
I love extra. I'm an extra guy since day one.
Since day one, I've got so many plans now that are all going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Already, I'm already ready to pull the pin on it and get it going. Extra's great. I feel so proud that we have a 24-hour stream. There'll be a couple of days where it might have to be downgraded and then back up again because I'm going to get a new computer. This laptop cannot run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's just going to go, I'm having enough of this. So anyway, MSK's on the line as well. So we got more people calling in now. This is very, very exciting. Let me bring you some news, read some news out. That was out 10 seconds ago. And then I shall bring Zachzay into the call as well. Israel strikes Beirut after ceasefire announcement with evacuation warning issued. Israeli airstrikes hit Lebanon's capital of Beirut moments after Joe Biden announced a ceasefire agreement. So this has now been confirmed. The US president announced a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah will be effective from 4 a.m. local time, 2 a.m. UK time tomorrow. And over the next 60 days, Israel will gradually withdraw its forces, he announced from the White House. Israel's Arabic language military spokesman published maps showing specific buildings in southern Beirut, warning residents to leave the areas surrounding them. Now, this is... Now, I don't know if maybe Zachzay can read that. Can you read that? Would you mind reading that for us?
It's called Knock on the Roof. We send flyer with a warning to leave the building because the army gonna attack that building. So it does says leave immediately. You have amount of time to be out because the building going to be attacked.
Thank you
That's
very
the
much.
warning. The warning before. They give a warning before not to hurt. Just because there is explosion and there is weapons in that building, they need to destroy it and they need to clear the building.
Thank you very much. How cool was that we were able to translate that? You read that out. Thank you very much indeed. Now, please stay on the line. MSK, we've got more people calling in. MSK would like to have a word as well. MSK, welcome to the show. We've just heard a ceasefire has been declared in Israel, between Israel and Lebanon. The markets are rallying. What's your thoughts and immediate reactions, please?
Well, my thoughts are that are making decisions that are affecting a majority of people. The minority can go to their nuclear bunkers, don't have to give a shit about being attacked or harmed, whereas the minority of people that are the masses, actually the masses with no protection, they're the ones who are being affected.
Okay.
And this angers me so much.
Try to, if you can, try to curb your language, please, on the show. It would be helpful. I can understand you are upset tonight, but aren't you at least pleased that a ceasefire has been put in place? I mean, that's good news, isn't it?
Yeah, but the ceasefire is coming from someone that the perpetrator doesn't respect.
But
If
does
you
it
know what I
matter
mean.
where? Does it matter where the message comes from and who it goes to if we just stop firing at each other? Isn't that a good message to the world? The stock market thinks so.
Absolutely, it is. It is. It is. It is. But this comes to show that it takes the right person to tell the right message, for the right people to listen to the right message, to make the right actions. If
Stay on the
Biden
line.
or
Stay on the line. Stay on the line. I
I'm-
can see.
okay.
Just stay right there. I'll be right back with you. I can see you're very passionate about this, and if you're able to knock a couple of things off on Wi-Fi in your property because you are buffering a little bit, if you're able to, I'm going to come straight back to you. I'm just going to read a statement here from the Prime Minister, and I will come straight back to you. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, of the United Kingdom, has just said long overdue ceasefire will provide some measure of relief. So Keir Starmer has responded to the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon Hezbollah. He says the long overdue ceasefire will provide some measure of relief for the civilian populations, some measure of relief. I think that's what MSK was talking about there. You know, people are still dying, some relief to civilian populations of Lebanon and northern Israel who have suffered unimaginable consequences during the last few months. The Prime Minister also says the UK and its allies will continue to be at a forefront of efforts to break the ongoing cycle of violence. Okay, that's just being reported. As we get more, we shall bring it to you. I can see MSK is very upset about this tonight, but we got to surely look for the positive. We all know that people are still dying, and there's still stuff going on both sides of this argument of the line. But we've got to celebrate a ceasefire, even though it's not in place at this moment. It will be tomorrow morning. It's just sometimes not technically possible to just stop right this second. It seems a shame. There are famously people who die in the last few moments of a war. That happens. I've got Sensei Crypto also wishing to share his views. Give me your thoughts, how you're feeling now. I've never seen you like this before. I see you on the show all the time. This is a different face. This is a different look to this evening. So tell me how you're feeling, and then I'll bring Sensei in.
I just feel, I think I've kind of alluded to this before, but I just feel that towards the end of a government, an end of 4 years of a governmental rule, it should be a peaceful transition. It shouldn't be a transition of, okay, now we're suddenly going to say, oh, Ukraine, you can have these whatever ability you can do to attack. Right at the end of my transition into the next premiership, if you like. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to say too much because
okay. So I see what you're saying. I'm going to go back to Zaxay, and I'm going to bring in Sensei first of all. I can see what you're saying. You seem to be suggesting, and I think we can all see this. All of a sudden, there's the chance. Hang on, just a moment, MSK.
Of a 4-year premiership.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
I think we can all see from all sides of every argument, of every discussion, of every debate, of every subject, all of a sudden we're getting major moves in the last few weeks of this presidency and the beginning of a new one.
Right.
We can all see that. And
logical point of that.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that civilians, normal folks like us, can all see that. We can all see suddenly problems are getting fixed, and we can see all these things that could have happened and now happening and all the rest of it. And I agree. Politics is being played with human lives. Real people have died, are still dying, and those in power look at me before I go. I'm going to get my name on the badge. Others are coming in, going, the day I start, I'm going to do all these things on day one. Yeah, I agree. There's the ugliness of the perhaps, self-importance, of self-adoration, of look what I've achieved, look what I'm about to achieve. This is happening. This is politics. But what we have to look forward to is less people dying, the world going back to a much more peaceful place, and anything we can do to encourage that is good. But I agree with you, and we'll come back to you on that point in just one moment. Please stand by.
Just a couple of seconds. We might be attacked by a dog, but we're not being attacked by ballistic missiles sent by instructions by those.
No,
above.
I understand, and I will add to that.
Yeah.
For those of us that live in the UK, for those of us that live in the United States, we have not felt a real war all our lives. In our generations. Our grandparents did, but we haven't. We don't know what it's like to really understand until a bomb lands on our street and after people are blown to pieces and life really changes. Like you say, me being bitten by a dog 2 days ago and having a little mark on my leg is not really a major deal. Okay. It's my little thing for the day, but it's not. I understand. And of course we don't understand because we're not being blown to bits on a daily basis.
I have to say,
I will come back to you
on the flip side.
MSK, I will come right back to you. I want to talk to you. Got to bring everybody in. Sensei, great to have you on the show. Now, how do you feel? You've got strong views on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not here to be political at all. I don't think there's any point of, especially that I'm part of the I do a Sunday show. I'm part of the channel. I don't want to express my opinion too strongly. But I mean, I do have opinions on this. I think it's peace is always good. We like peace. We want peace. It's just, is it going to last? We've seen both sides. I can say factually sort of lie about various things. They lied. Is the ceasefire going to last on both sides? Who knows? As you saw, we just saw some news on the ceasefire is coming to an effect, but just before everyone's trying to get their bombs out. It's just not good. It doesn't really make sense to have a ceasefire, but bombers just keep bombing each other. I mean, what's the point? Don't do that. The way it works. Don't like to see it. It's awful. We see pictures on our screens every day of people starving. I mean, we've just got an arrest warrant put out for Benjamin Netanyahu from the ICC for wars against humanity, using starvation as a method of warfare, all these terrible things. So it's good to see it come to. We want a ceasefire. There has been ceasefire talks for a long time for both sides, especially on the Gaza side, but something that they haven't come to fruition. So it's good to see some progress. I mean, I think anyone who doesn't want to see peace is crazy. It seems like it's a step in the right direction. I was going to say it's late, but it is late, but it's better late than never. Thousands of people have lost their lives, tens of thousands. And we need to get the hostages back, firstly. The hostages need to come back from... and also that the killing needs to stop in Gaza, and you can't use starvation as a method of warfare. There's I think, crimes definitely happening on both sides, and we don't want to see this happen any longer. We want to see a ceasefire. Is this going to hold up? Is the markets going to come up because of this news? Well, they seem to be doing okay at the moment. A little pump is occurring right now, which is good. I think we're basically at all-time highs, which is always nice to see. So let's just hope no one breaks the rules of the ceasefire, and let's hope we get a ceasefire on the Gaza side as well, and let's get some aid into Gaza, and let's get the hostages back.
Thank you for your thoughts. I'm glad you mentioned the stock market there as well, because obviously that's what we're an investment channel, and there's not going to be. I said the moment it broke, there would be a pump on a pump, and it did. It went up a bit. Don't expect a massive rally, and the reason why, we've already had it. We've already had it when the war broke out, or just before we thought the war was going to happen. When we had the situation with Iran, the market dipped. You remember, I famously all bought that dip, that macro condition. And then when we saw things, not be as bad as we thought, the market has been bullish ever since and been rallying ever since, because people are thinking that this will end at some point. It's not going to get any bigger. The Middle East issue isn't going to get any bigger. And the markets have been rallying. They are already overbought. We've had a fantastic year on the market. Crypto is at all-time highs, or was a few days ago. Sorry about that, Sensei, but I was making a video about it earlier. Should have sold 100 grand. No one listened. Anyway, we've had this ground. You can smile, mate, but a 10% drop from top to bottom where we are now. If the S&P had dropped 10%, I would have been falling off my chair buying it. But anyway, there you go. Crypto does that, right? You can go down 10%. Everyone goes, that's fine. If that happened on the stock market, that would be a really bad day, right? Anyway, don't worry about that. That's just me. Just trying to annoy you. But no, we're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and find the stock market's up 10%. We are, however, going to get a 10% by the end of the year. I see a 5 to 10% Santa rally, not because of this, because of everything else, and the upcoming administration with Trump is driving the market up. This in itself isn't, because everyone felt that it was already kind of priced in anyway, that things weren't going to escalate. We'll see what happens tomorrow when the ceasefire actually happens. But just before I go back to MSK, he's very upset about this. He doesn't like, and I understand really, he doesn't like that politicians are trying to sort of look at me. Look what I can do in the last 5 minutes of my presidency, and look at me, what I can do on day one, just to, I can rock it all up. Why couldn't this been done months ago? What's your view on, have you got any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think they're playing games with people's lives. A lot of the people at the top there, I think, and they're spending our taxpayers' money to murder people as well. So, so it's not great. We don't really get a say, and it seems like if they really wanted to get it sorted, I think they could. If they wanted a ceasefire agreement, I think they could get it done. And you can see he's leaving in I don't know, in a month or something, and he's quickly managed to do this. So I do understand where MSK's frustration is coming from, and I don't like seeing. I just want to see peace. I think everyone wants to see peace, and I don't know how we get there, but it seems like at least it's something.
Yeah, I feel pleased that we've got this move in the right direction. As you can see, folks, I've opened up the the chat to everybody at the same time now, as we have 3. If anybody else wants to call in, it's martynlucas.com/live. You can be live on the show. I will give you the link. We can have 10 people at once. You need to be a member. I'd love to get more views. I'd love to hear what Vanessa thinks. Love to have a female point of view here. There is the link in the chat. Here is the password, LucasAids 100. It's the same as always, uppercase L, uppercase A. If you are wanting to call in, you need to be a member, and then you can call in. You don't require any software. I take care of all of that. You've just literally got to call in and press the button. Press the button. Before I come back to MSK, Zachzate, what do you feel to what you've just heard?
Like I started, peace, salam, shalom. Just like Sensei said it beautifully, that's the best solution. In Israel, and I can understand MSK, the same. There is a split, just like before the election here with Trump and Harris. You were or there or there, and now Trump been elected, and the day after, what Ellen DeGeneres left the country. She don't want to live in America anymore under Trump. So the same in Israel, there is a 50-50, which goes with and against Netanyahu. And Benjamin Netanyahu, with all that he's done with his government and his time in the presidential, it's a problem. Personally, I see it as a problem.
Can I make a comment on what you just said there? This was I know a lot of people are going to have strong opinions on this, and I know MSK probably will. And feel free to call in. I get a little bit tired and fed up of hearing from celebrities saying if this person gets in, I'm going to leave the country and all this flipping nonsense. I think it's ego has got way out of control. Who the hell cares? Bugger off then. Bugger off then. You know, if Ellen DeGeneres wants to bugger off because she doesn't like the president, bugger off then. It's look at me, I'm important. And I think the celebrities made themselves look like arses, if I'm quite honest, because during the Harris campaign, they relied, just as Trump did, let's be honest, both sides the same, they love getting the celebrities endorsing themselves. And on the Harris side, particularly, because we know that Democrat does have a lot more, the Californian superstars all coming out and whatever. And, of course, so does Trump. Not keep balance here. But they were all given these endorsements like it really matters what Taylor Swift thinks. Now, I couldn't care less what Taylor Swift thinks. I couldn't care less what, we can list all these people. And if you want to leave the country because, you didn't get what you want, bugger off then. It's pathetic. And most of them, I don't think will even do it anyway. It's all a bloody load of nonsense. The president, the country is not defined by the president or the flag or the army. It's defined by your own life, how you live your life, how your neighbours and your friends and your family. And to say I'm not living in England anymore every time Labour win or Conservative wins and I'm going to live on an island is me acting like an arse. And me showing off, and me thinking I'm bigger than everybody else, and my opinion's worth more than anyone else. And I'm called Ellen DeGeneres, and I'm on the telly, which means everyone should listen to me. What a load of bloody rubbish. And in a few years' time, when we probably have, hopefully, the way we're going, in 4 years, 1 million people on this channel watching, does that make me more important than I am today? No. I'm doing the same job on day one as I will do with 1 million people. I said to Leah yesterday, it's brilliant. What I used to do for one person, could now do for 1 million. I'm doing the same work. Best job in the world. I've always said it, right? That doesn't make me more important at all. Just means more people are watching, and who the hell cares if I, throw my dummy out the pram. So I get a little bit tired of that story. I don't know if anybody else feels the same. Who the hell cares? And I think it shows weakness, actually. And if I was running for Prime Minister, or if I was running for the President of the United States, I can't, of course. I'm not a citizen. I wasn't born here, rather. If I was, I don't think I would want any endorsement from celebrities telling everybody else what they should do with their vote because they're famous. I think it's insulting to people, quite frankly. It's insulting their intelligence.
So if I may, and we start with the actor Ronald Reagan, that even California the first time was red because he came from the industry. Trump had this show, You Fired, right?
Yeah, The Apprentice.
You gotta get yourself into the industry. Elon Musk, I'm not gonna mention, is forward with all the success, eventually is in the industry. And the X that he took over. You want to put your word, and that's what makes America great, because the people here are creating, they are artists, they are full of all those shows, the big stadiums, the big events is what makes America what it is. And that's where the say, those people does have a say. And it is some of the power of the freedom of America.
I think, celebrity gives you a voice, but I don't think it really changed people's hearts and minds. I think it just...
Or opinions.
Yeah, or opinions. I think it just excites everybody and fires everybody up. But when it comes down to it, most sensible people don't do what Kim Kardashian said because she said it, or Taylor Swift said something. I mean, stick to being a pop star and singing songs and writing songs. I mean, it's great. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with saying your opinion. I'm saying my opinion now. But to think that the world will change because you're upset about something. Come on, everybody. Let's go and live in Australia. I don't like Donald Trump. All the Lucas aides. Let's do it. Oh, suddenly no one does it. Yeah, really? It reminds me of I use the example about the little girl who got really famous on TikTok, millions of followers, and she thought she was like Elvis Presley. She thought she was like bloody Elton John, and her parents hired a bloody great venue for her to meet her fans. And no one turned up. I felt really sorry for her. She had millions of fans on TikTok, and she thought they would travel across the world and queue up to get an autograph. Rubbish. It's bloody nonsense. And people get all carried away with their self-importance. Anyway, Sensei, you got any thoughts on all of this? Do you think we should listen to what celebrities tell us? And are you going to leave England now because you don't like, you do or don't like Trump or whatever you're going to do?
No, I thought about this a lot after, actually. I thought initially straight after the election, I thought the reason Harris did really badly, one of the reasons was her campaign and how much celebrity endorsements. Because when I see it, I personally feel like it actually deters me, to be honest. When I see all these celebrities
Exactly.
going up on stage, dancing and doing all weird things, it actually makes me feel it sort of deters me from that candidate, because I'm like, what's the point of all of this? So yeah, I don't personally like her. I think that's one of the main issues with her campaign, was all the money spent on celebrity endorsements, along with the fact that she was going more left instead of actually going after going for the working people, like a Bernie Sanders approach, for example. But yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the celebrity thing. But then on further thought, I thought there must be a reason they do it. There must be enough idiots out there that would just listen straight to whatever a celebrity says. There must be a reason, and that it must have been a big part of her campaign. They've probably got some mathematicians and all these clever people around elections campaigns, and they've probably done it for a reason. So maybe there are people that just see their celebrities, they vote this way, and they go for it and vote that way.
I don't think there is, though. And I've worked in media. I've worked in publicising my shows, and I know people who run newspapers, who run TV shows, and all sorts of things. And let me tell you, one of my friends years ago was an editor of a newspaper, and he talked to me about putting an advert in the paper. And I learned that you don't want to pay for an advert. You want editorial. You want someone to write a story on you rather than you pay to do an advert. People see it differently when it's a story as opposed to an advert. Look at me. I've paid for this spot. Now do what I say, right? And I asked him, I said, how effective are ads in papers? How effective is all this publicity? You know, all the ads we see on everything, endorsements for everything. And he told me the truth. And he was the editor of the paper. He said, I don't tell my customers this, but this is what we've measured. And it's very hard to measure if people go out and buy stuff because they've seen an ad. And it was less the call to action when someone actually actions something based upon the advert they'd seen, the commercial they'd seen. He said it's less than 1% of the viewers that see that ad will do stuff.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So he said, if you are wishing to, promote yourself, right? And I don't know, like I want to promote this channel, and I think, right, I'm going to promote this. I'm going to take a newspaper ad, right? And I'm going to be seen by 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look at that. I'll be lucky if 10 people act on it. And it's cost me a fortune.
No,
you need millions. So all this nonsense, I don't think we really know. I don't think anyone really knows. How do you really know what people are doing and what they're going to say? You don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm sure they don't do it for no. I mean, I agree with you. I think. Well, I mean, if it was a 1%, I think they'll still take it. But yeah, I agree. I don't think anyone's. I think part of her campaign trail where she was getting the celebrities and it was very forced. You can see obviously they've been paid or whatever for the endorsement. I don't think that deters me. It probably deters other people. It probably doesn't make a difference to a lot of people. But maybe a couple of people might be swayed by it if it's their idol, if they worship these celebrities. Because some
really,
people
would you? Would you really? I used to enjoy Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra.
No, I don't.
But I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Who does though? Who does though?
People worship celebrities.
But you're saying I don't. You don't. But who does?
There are people worship celebrities, that is for sure.
Yes,
And I
but then
don't
do
think,
they act on it? Worshipping a
Yeah.
celebrity is one thing. Voting on their
I mean, if you
favorite
worship
politician is
someone,
different.
you'll say whatever they say, or you'll do whatever they ask you to. But again, I agree with you. I don't think it was an effective move, but there are a lot of people that people listen to, celebrity-wise, whether they're actual big celebrities, whether they're YouTubers, whether they're people that are not being paid but are actually starting to endorse either Trump or Biden. There's and that's how people's opinions are formed. I don't think it's the paid endorsements that really have an effect. I think it's the celebrities or the people out on YouTube or other places that when they start endorsing certain characters, that's when people might listen a lot more than these
Okay,
than
I'm going to
what's
ask you
happening on the
something.
campaign trail.
I'm going to ask something now. I've got a comment just come in from Savage to Mean Kitty 2. Just said, I hope you get to read this because your title is somewhat misleading. It is for you, perhaps you just entered 5 minutes ago, but actually we've been discussing the whole element. We've got Zach Zate here from Israel, the whole element of this. And you're saying that, hi, Martyn, I'm from Israel. The war isn't over. The war of Hezbollah is over, but Israel is not connecting the war with Hezbollah and Hamas. So the Gaza war is not over yet. Correct. It doesn't say in my title the Gaza war is over. We're talking about Lebanon and Israel. That is over potentially. So that's what I'm saying. And I understand it's very difficult to explain all of that in a title. It's just war is over. Tune in, listen in what we're saying, and we are discussing it all. But let me ask everyone then, because we're talking about celebrity influencing everybody and adverts and the power of commercials. Be honest, right? Put in the chat. Everyone comment. You three can comment because you're on the channel right now. Over the last 3 years of watching my channel, you've probably seen millions of ads. Millions of all kinds of stuff. Not literally millions, but probably thousands of ads on all kinds of stuff. Have you bought anything from any of the ads you've seen on my show?
I don't like to be indoctrinated. I've got YouTube Premium.
Do what?
I don't want to be indoctrinated. I've got YouTube Premium.
There you go. You don't even see it, so you're completely out of it. What about you, Zach Zate? Have you been influenced to buy anything from my ads?
Yeah, Google, Robinhood. Robinhood, the guy that ran on his chair in the office. That's a great commercial for Robinhood.
Yeah? You've seen that on my show?
The ad.
Oh.
The ad of Google, yeah, the Google phone, the Google...
Yeah, but what did you do? When you saw the ad in between me talking like this, all of a sudden there's an ad for Google. I think that's brilliant. It really shows me what people see. That's fascinating, that is. So you saw the ad for Google. It provided some entertainment. I earned 1 cent. Thank you very much. God bless you for watching it all the way through. I hope you watched it all the way through. Don't be one of those people who skips it. Watch it for 20 minutes. Some of the long ones.
Don't be someone worse like Vanessa who has ad blocker.
Yeah, Vanessa, she's terrible. She's got ad blocker. Boo, we don't like ad blockers. Hey, Vanessa, get YouTube Premium. You don't see the ads, you get all the content, and everyone gets paid. Ad blocker. That's like stealing my show. But she is a member, though. I shouldn't say too much. She's a member.
Out.
It cancels out.
I'm just going to be honest, Martin. I've seen the ads, and the answer is no. I've not been influenced by any of them. I've not bought a single thing by any of them.
We probably shouldn't say it on the channel. Google might be listening.
Show.
Might go, we're not going to monetize Martyn's channel anymore. No point. No one buys anything.
And do you think I give a shit? Do you think I give a shit? No.
Well, I do, because that would be my income down the toilet.
Let's be honest.
I have an issue for this Friday. First time I got here in 1998, I remember my first Black Friday. I was like those crazy guys. I was looking for a specific code. And I was there at midnight at the entrance of the shop, like the dream. To
You're
get
one
that,
of those people.
yes,
You're one of those people.
1998.
Oh,
Today,
God.
Amazon give you Black Friday a week before. You buy online, you don't even need to stand in line. Everything is already a week, Black Friday week. A lot has been changed.
Sensei's probably a bit too young to remember this. Only those from England will know this, but Zach Zate probably remembers.
How old are you, Sensei?
Hang on, How old
No
is
comment.
he? He's an enigma. We don't know. It's a mystery.
You'll never.
We'll never know. Yeah. It's
What
an
was that?
enigma.
-10. I'm joking.
Minus 10. I bet MSK remembers this. In reaction, in comment, what's 76 mean? He's 76
My year.
years of it. Huh?
1976.
That's when you were born. Oh, bloody hell. Now Now I feel old. 1969, mate.
Hey,
when
you
man
look
landed
that
on the
old.
moon. Yeah.
You don't look
When
that
they said this is one small step for mankind, one giant leap for man. No, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. What they were saying, they was referring to the moment I was born. That's what was going on there. Totally agree. It was one great moment for mankind. But MSK, you tell Zach Zate right now. He's the guy queuing up for the Friday sale, right? We've got something better than that. In England, I wonder if MSK remembers this. In England, doesn't exist anymore. They went bust eventually. The great MFI sale. MFI is a furniture
broke
shop in
up
England.
there. Sorry, I think the main point was lost. You broke up there. Sorry, Martin. Can you say that again?
The MFI sale in England. They were on sale
Oh, yeah.
always, forever. And I knew a manager, one of my mates, Stewie, he worked there, and he told me, Martin, do you want to know how we do this? Right? We have a sofa, right? For one day, it's £20,000, right? One day. No one buys it,
Yeah.
right? But for the rest of the year, it's 99% discount, and it's like $300, which is what the real price is all year round. And then the MFI sale was the MFI sale every single day of your life. It was bonkers. People just love a discount. They feel they're getting a deal. And it's got out of hand now because Black Friday was one day. Now it's a week. Before you know it, it'll be Black Friday the entire year. It's ridiculous. And you queuing up, I'm disappointed with you, Zach Zate. None of us here
Is
are
there a
that
Black
desperate
Friday
for
in
a coat.
England?
Eh?
Is there a Black Friday in England?
Yeah, we do. Is there stuff going on over there, lads?
Yeah, there is.
There is.
There is. Yeah.
I was
come on.
standing in the Dr. Martin shoes store, the seventh
None of-
floors in London.
None of us need to
I
queue
will
up
be
for a
there
pair
at
of
midnight.
shoes. Years ago, it was Christmas. It was Christmas Eve.
You'll be the only one.
I went into Woolworths. Remember Woolworths, folks? Remember Woolworths? I went into Woolworths.
Yes, I do. I
Right.
do.
I went
miss
to Woolworths to
I
buy
also
my
miss
girlfriend a
Toys R
CD.
Us. As
Yeah.
much as I'm obviously in my 30s, I still
Right.
miss Toys R Us.
Well, yeah,
That was my
Jeffrey,
childhood.
Jeffrey, the giraffe. And I went to and I was queuing
Right.
up to buy a CD for my girlfriend. It was Christmas Eve. And I stood there for about 30 seconds. I went, this queue is about 2 hours long. I am not queuing up for 2 hours to buy a £5 CD. I'm not doing it. People get stupid over stuff they don't even need. So stop queuing at midnight to buy a coat you don't even need because someone has told you it's a Black Friday sale and you can save 10%. Who the hell cares? Just buy another coat next week for the same price. It doesn't matter.
I was 22 years old. Now I feel Black Friday is a good stock day for sale too. We have Cyber Monday and a lot of product comes and a lot of companies going above the black line. That's what Black Friday. They're making sales stock. They can be above the black line and become positive to the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's great for the economy.
I tell you what, because this is a financial channel, it's about how to make money. You remember, you admit this, Zach Zate. You said that after listening to my amazing advice, you decided to get the Robinhood Gold Card. Remember? You said that was great. They call this cashback. Here's another little bit of financial advice for you and your sales. And the only time the sales are useful, and the only time I ever use them, not for things I want, but things I need. Now, every time there's a Black Friday week, I look in the cupboard, and I believe it or not, even though I haven't got much hair, I have Head and Shoulders shampoo. Because I just use it as a body wash.
We know you've bought toothpaste for like 5 years, Martin.
Correct. The last
We've all
Black
heard that
Friday, correct. The last Black Friday, I bought like about 500 razor blades for my Gillette razor, right? I've got all the razors I'll need until I'm like dead, right? I didn't buy too many because I wasn't thinking, there's no point buying enough razors until you're 200 because then clearly you're going to be it's going to cost you too much money, right? But I thought, probably going to live 80, thereabouts. So I bought a few hundred. Right. So what I've done is I've beaten inflation because the price is only going to go up. And that they were less than half price. It was like 60% off. So I thought, right, now that is smart because I know the price is going to go up. I've beaten inflation. And if my money doesn't even grow on the stock market, it just stays the same. But I bought all the things that I need in the future. As prices go up on average 4% a year, 2% a year on average, even though it's more than that, I'm saving money. Right? So that's the time to use Black Friday. You can't do that for everything. You can do it for toothpaste, you can do it for razor blades, but not a coat. Eh?
Are you still stocked up on toothpaste?
Yeah, loads. Yeah, I'm good.
So you've got your toothpaste, you've got your razors. What do you need?
Yeah, shampoo, I'm pretty good. I've got gel, shaving gel. I've also got antiperspirant deodorant. There's pretty much everything that I can use that can last, I've got. I don't need any more
If I can
pants,
recommend
socks.
not head and shoulders, look in the graphs, look in the statistic. There is a shape that head and shoulder that you know what's going on with the stock. But less for your hair. There is some product that I read is not so well lately. But head and shoulders is good for the stocks.
Final Destination.
I'm
joking. Just watch Final Destination. You never know when things are going to happen.
Well, yeah, I don't. But thing is, if I die tomorrow...
It saved the world.
Yeah, if I die tomorrow, the person who comes in here gets a lifelong supply of razors, shampoo, deodorant, everything. Stuff they can really use.
Then it's only worth as much as how long they have left, right?
Well, correct.
That's dark.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. You've got to live at least 4 or 5 years for it to be, even be viable.
Right.
You've got to be optimistic,
Razors is my favorite. You buy 18 razors in for 3 years. Also Costco, they got the ear picks. You get 3 packages. I already have them for 6 years. How many ears do I have?
I tell you what, top tip. Tip.
That's not technology.
No, it's not. Well, it is sort of. It was designed. It was invented somehow. Let me tell you, best tip ever. I wish I'd known about this years ago, and I did kind of know about it, but I just couldn't get around to it. Right? Floss.
Can I ask you, Martyn? How often do you shave? Because you're always quite smooth.
Thank you very much. Every morning. Every morning. Wow. Well, of course, okay, don't you? Enough. Well, no, you don't because you got a beard. But those who don't have a beard shave every day.
Come on, you are.
Yeah, listen. It's quite standard practice. This is normal. Maybe not everyone lives like this. Okay. I get up. I have a shower and wash with soap and hot water. Clean my teeth. Have a shave. Clean pants. Clean socks. Clean shirt. Every day. It's not just once a week. It's every single day.
That's once a week, Martyn.
Once a week.
Yeah.
The rest of you do that once a week. I'm the only one who has a shower every day.
Once we had to save water.
We're talking about the shave, but
less
I'm probably the only one who has a shower once a month. But anyway, let's. I'm joking.
We call it in San Francisco. You want to shave once a day and once a month.
No, every day. If I don't shave every
day, once a day for the face and once a month.
Yeah, no.
The modern man should be clean.
The weird man.
Should we move on to
yes?
Well, Chris said toilet roll during COVID.
That's why Zach said that you're the mum and Sensei is the dad. Because us men, we don't really care about.
Whoa! What do you mean? Us men don't care. Don't make out us men are just dirty, skanky. I like to be clean. You might not like to shave and be clean. If I don't shave in the morning, I feel dirty by the evening. I hate not being shaven. Always. Man. You might not bother, but I care. And every 2 weeks, shave my head.
He's a what man, MSK?
Metrosexual.
I don't even know what that is. All these modern names.
Sensei, Zach and I, we're like, it's fine, doesn't matter. Maybe a couple of days without a shower, it's fine.
Whoa! Couple of days without a shower. No. No, couple of days without a shower.
No, couple months without a shower.
Not a bloody animal.
I have the comment about removing. What you thought about removing the transaction from the military army? Trump says he's gonna release the how to call it, the community, the people that serve. He want them to leave the army, to leave the military. Yeah, that was also said the other day. A lot of things coming with this news. It's very interesting to see what January we're going to bring us.
Hopefully peace.
Hopefully. Let's should be done early.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully peace.
Let's return.
And secondarily, an altcoin season, Sensei.
Yes.
If we can just return to the guys, just for a moment. If we can return to the subject of the show right now, because people are tuning in thinking, what's this got to do with the Israel war? It's a little bit confusing. Talking about razor blades. Huh?
That's what we were trying to do. We were trying to bring it back. So I've got some news just out a few seconds ago. Resume. Okay. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Click resume. I've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen. There we go. I had the whole system shut down there for a moment. Hopefully Zach8 will call back in again, but I don't quite know what happened there. Let me just check. I'm live everywhere, but the system shut down. Always impressed with the way that continues and not loses the signal. But anyway, we're back again. So I'm going to just bring this news item here. Let me just move Sensei up to guest number 9 just for a moment, just so we balance this out a little bit. So I've just seen this news item, just came in a few seconds ago. Always sad to see these sort of things, but I want to bring it to you and give me your thoughts on this. So we've got the ceasefire, but we've just had this come up. People displaced in Beirut after evacuation orders. Lebanese people in Beirut have left their homes after Israel's evacuation orders. Airstrikes have been hitting Lebanon's capital throughout the day, with the Israeli military saying it is striking Hezbollah targets. Let's just remind ourselves, as we sit here and we talk about the world coming to, the war coming to an end and all the rest of it. And we can joke and we can laugh about all kinds of different subjects and who's bought the most razors, and which is great. You've got to laugh at yourself and got to have fun, because otherwise what's the point of living, and so on and so forth. Sensei, by the way, if I just a little quick note here for you. Can you see how my ticker looks a bit weird? This is what yours did on the show the other day. Just simply turn it off, back on again, and eventually it just sorts itself out. Can you see that? Well, I like my new one, to be honest. But yeah. I adjusted the height so it made sense. But
you can do that if you want. But can you see how it's fixed itself just by opening and closing it, opening a couple of times? But I've basically, that's how it's supposed to look. I've added a few more tickers. That's why it does that. Anyway, if we look here, there's people here. Real people tonight out in the cold. It's freezing cold, huddled down in front of a fire. Well, we're all talking about, the war's coming to an end, in beat up cars with all their home on top of the roof, trying to escape the chaos, the noise, the frustration. Well, we all look at this chaos. Can you imagine being in this tonight? Well, we're all sitting here, having pleasantries and conversation with each other. I think we need to remind ourselves, it's not all good for everyone here tonight.
It's terrible, and we need to remember that the last time that there's been a lot of instances in Gaza when they told the people to evacuate from one side, and then they started. Before they had time to leave, they started bombing them. They started bombing the routes out. So we just need to see how the ceasefire goes. Hopefully, there's no more war crimes committed, and hopefully I always say every time I'm having a bad day, I just have to think about all the other stuff going on in the world, and know that I'm actually having a good day. So yeah, it's terrible. It's we still have to joke around, otherwise we can't be upset all day, but we have to keep it in the back of our mind that we're actually very lucky. Anyone who's watching this right now, you've got internet connection, you're somewhere safe, I hope, and we're very lucky. So yeah, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, it's sad. Let's hope tomorrow the ceasefire goes through and it stops, and at the end of the day, no one really cares who gives the order, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, before, after, anywhere in between. All we care about is people being allowed to go about their daily business without the fear of being blown up and all the rest of it. As we
You know what,
experience.
Martyn? That is exactly why I get really passionate about this and irritated, because when we talk about hostages, who is a hostage? Who is people going about their day? They don't need to be dealing with this. Everyone who they don't choose to be in war. They are hostages of war.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter
exactly.
what country they come from. They are hostages of war. They didn't choose the mothers.
Just hold that
fathers,
thought.
children
Hold that
didn't-
thought, MSK.
Right.
Hold that thought.
Right.
I've got Brian who wants to call in. We've got someone calling in called Brian. Now, Brian, I can see you in my green room. You can probably hear me. You can see me. I'm talking to you live on the show. Are you a member of our channel? You need to be a member of our channel. If you, it's just the rules of being able to call in. If you are a member of our channel, just go into the chat and say you are a member. Just comment, because I can see the badge next to your name and I can bring you in. If you're not a member, I'll give you the link in the chat and you can be a member. You can become a member. We only allow members to call in. Otherwise, we wouldn't know who was calling in and we could have all kinds of chaos. So there is the link to become a member in the chat for you. And if you want to call in, then you can. Brian. Oh, is that Brian Bynum? Brian. So is that Brian Bynum? This is Brian Bynum, everybody. I don't think we've had Brian Bynum on the show before, have we? Very first time. So shall we bring him in? Where should we put him? Let me stick him over here. Brian Bynum. I don't think we've had Brian on the show before. You'll probably tell me in a minute. Yes, I have. I've been on it loads and I feel really embarrassed then. But anyway, here's Brian Bynum live on the show. How are you, Brian?
Hello, world.
Hello, world, indeed. You are Brian Bynum. We now put a face. It is your first time, isn't it?
No, I did a couple tours of outside the Virgin Galactic Delta facility.
Oh, that's right. You called in via. Yeah, I remember you were doing the factory, and you were in the desert up in Nevada, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten. I'm terrible.
Oh no, I was wearing a hat.
That's what it is. It was the hat that was doing it.
I obviously wash my hair at least once a month.
Yeah, there you go. Head and shoulders for you. Brian, what's your thoughts on what we're seeing tonight?
My thoughts went to Dunbar's number, which is that evolutionarily we can only have 150 close connections to other people. And, that's tribalism. Once you get past 150, there has to be an existential threat to bind you together and stand hand to hand as brothers. So when that tiger is coming over the hill or that other tribe is coming over the hill to attack you, that's an existential threat. And you can get more than 150 people together because of that. And so all these wars, all these crazy comments by politicians all sound to me like existential threats. And that's the only way they can keep human beings that are more than 150 from keeping devolving back to tribalism, keep them together as a nation or a country or what have you. And so until we evolve to think that I'm one of 9 billion or I'm one of one, we'll always have the war.
Wow, that's a very deep, profound comment. Has anybody got any thoughts to that? We often forget, don't we, that we are a whole planet of people. We are. If you go into space and look at us, if you could fly out into space and look back at the planet, we're just one organism, really, all beating together, I think. And if you take any part of you and look at your arm, just take a part of your arm and look at it under a microscope, you'll see all the millions of things going on in your cells and all the rest of it. We're all just part of some bigger thing. And I think it's difficult for humans to be able to comprehend that we're all one giant organism. We all think our lives are the most important thing, and how I live is
proven.
Yeah,
scientifically proven. We're not evolved enough yet.
Well, that's a flaw of being a human, isn't it? We live our lives just to take care of us. We're selfish, and it's probably not a bad thing, because what else am I supposed to do? I'm sitting here and I am feeling uncomfortable. If I sit here too long, I've got to shift about a little bit, or I get hungry, or I have issues of my own. How can I be fully tapped into the world? You can be respectful and understanding of it, but how can you can't feel it. You can't really feel it. What we know is going on now in the Middle East, we know is bad. But I've always thought about this. Maybe you could sort of comment to this. We never remember pain. Think about that a moment. We never remember. We know it hurt, but we never actually remember it. You don't carry it. I know when I had my eyes lasered, it really stung, made me cry. But I don't feel that pain today. I don't carry that pain around with me. I don't remember it. And I just think we have a survival instinct. We're individuals. We are a collective, but we're individuals, and we can't really absorb the bigger picture, because it's just beyond us. I mean, isn't it? I mean, what about when we all go to Mars and there's people living on Mars? How can you even comprehend what that feels like? So,
to be honest, Martyn, I think that the point that you just made is kind of contradicting yourself, because pretty much the only thing we do remember is pain, because we touched fire the first time, we'll stay away from it.
Yeah, it hurts, but you can't remember the pain. You don't feel the pain. That's what I'm saying.
But
it's
so
only
why
it
do we
hurts.
Stay away from it, because we remember that it hurt, right?
Yeah, but you don't carry that pain with you, do you?
I agree with MSK, Martyn. I used to be a professional. I used to be a professional poker player.
For the first time,
MSK,
that's
MSK. Just let Brian finish a moment.
Yeah, sorry,
please.
Go on, Brian. Go on.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, MSK. I used to be a professional poker player, and everybody that was a professional poker player could recall with great extent the big losses they had, but they can't tell you about their big wins. They have no memory of it.
No, that's true. That's the same on the stock market. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
People, I agree. What I'm saying I'm trying to go a bit deeper on it, is when I say we don't remember it, we know it, we recall it, and we say, oh yeah, it wasn't very good. I remember what it was like when I got margin call, Virgin Galactic lost 30 grand. I remember that, but it's just a word. I'm just saying I remember it. I don't carry the pain. We don't carry the pain with us. That's what I'm saying. I think we're built to survive.
I don't agree with that, Martyn, because if we don't carry the pain, then we don't use that lesson in life to make the decisions that we make going forward. do we?
Yeah, but if you
We learn
okay,
like
okay,
that kind of pain.
I know after 55
Right.
years of life that lots of people lie
Right.
to me. Lots of people want to scam me. People that message me are
Yes,
trying to scam me.
absolutely.
I know
Absolutely, yeah.
bad people exist, except I don't live like that. Even though I know it, but I don't live like that. I don't want to be in a world of negativity, even though the world can be very negative. I trust everyone, everybody. I trust and believe everyone individually until that person lies to me. So MS, everyone here has always told me the truth. One day one of you lies to me, that's it. You're done. But up to that moment, I trust everyone. Because even though I know people lie and scam and so on and so forth, I don't want to live in their world of lies and negativity. I don't want to be there. So I don't. I just live
Yeah,
positively
but
all the
just-
time.
but getting burnt really hurts, doesn't it?
Getting burnt does hurt, but we all have to go through
Yeah.
that. Chris is in the chat. Chris, are you one of our members? Can you just put your name in the chat? Just say, yes, I'm a member, just so I can see that you are Chris, and I'll see your name. We've got another caller in. People are very passionate tonight about sharing their opinions and views. I love this. Brian, I want to hear more from you. You're a professional gambler. You were.
Sorry,
You've got some
I really loved
good...
your show. I really loved your show when I first started, and I saw that ticker flying by. I'm calling Martyn Lucas.
Yeah. Hello. How are you? Who are you? Hello. Let's bring Chris in. Is that your son?
No, it's my good friend's son.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Oh, Chris, I've just lost your camera. If you can come back again, I've just lost your camera. You're on spot number 5. But so Brian, share with me more thoughts of you. I find you very interesting.
Yeah. The other thing I thought of when I first started watching you and seeing that ticker roll by, and it says 95% of day traders lose, and I thought that might sound ridiculous to a normal person, but being a gambler, it sounded perfect. Probably a little underestimated, because if you walk into a roulette table, they've got 36 numbers you can bet on, and then they have either if it's the British style, they've got the one green zero, or they've got 2 zeros in most American roulette tables. And some of the big casinos like Mirage and Bellagio have a 000 that they kind of hide with the logo of their casino. But normally it's a 00, and normally you have whatever it is, 38 divided by 36, or 36 divided by 38% chance if you're doing like a even bet of red, black, even, odd. You probably got about a 47-ish% chance to win if you put all your money up at the first shot. And then, so 2 people walk into the casino. Let's call the first person Brian Bynum, and he puts he comes in with $1,000 bankroll and wants to stop when he wins $1,000, and he puts all of his money on black and rolls it once with a 47% chance, and that's what I get. Either way, I win or lose, and I stop if I get it all, or I walk away when I don't have any money. Now, let's say another person, Mike, walks in and decides to bet $10 at a time with his $1,000, and to stop when he wins $1,000, or when he loses it all, he walks away. Mike, betting $10 a time with a 47% odds, has about a 0.27 chance of winning $1,000. So all of these day traders, that just translated to day traders to me is like, that 95 might be wrong. That might be a much worse number, because you're at a disadvantage when you're doing those little day trades, unless you've done your education and your research, and that's the way you take that 40% odds and move it into your favor. And until you've done that, you've got almost a 0 chance to win. And that's why I love your show, is you're helping everybody move the odds into their favor.
Wow, that's fascinating. And I can see Sensei's all over that, because he really does study the charts in detail and understands of improving your odds. We see it a lot. This is a great conversation. I'm really, really feasting off this conversation tonight. This is great. I think everyone's enjoying it. The viewers are enjoying it. This is great. If anybody else wants to join in, I want to ask you a question. Is how do you become a professional gambler? How does that happen? You have to win a lot to think that you could be a professional gambler now. And then you make that a job.
I made a mistake. I didn't win enough. I kept track of records, and you can calculate risk of ruin. You can calculate your plus or minus 3 sigma, your variance, and you can calculate your win rate, and you can calculate the bankroll, and you can calculate risk of ruin based on the size of your bankroll compared to your variance compared to your win rate. And at the point where I had a good enough win rate to feel that I was going to live good enough, I just quit my job. But I did not take enough data. I calculated my win rate only over the snowbird months. So I'm a professional snowbird hunter. I'm not a professional gambler. So within a year, my bankroll, which I thought was...
What does that mean?
So in Arizona, there's a lot of tourists that come down during the winter, getting away from their, cold weather climate to come and stay in Arizona for a few months. And my lack of knowledge, I only had calculated, or I only had kept good statistics over the months when the snowbirds were here. And when the summer comes around and you're just playing against regulars, you're not having that good of a win rate. It's the snowbirds that were bringing over the money. And I quickly went broke in about 15 months for making that mistake of not getting like a good 2 years worth of data. So data collection is a good thing.
So you're not a professional gambler anymore?
No, I went back to my old industry of plating and aircraft repair.
Earning money, 100% win every day, investing it the old-fashioned way. I've got to carry on with this. Chris has just called in. Chris, how are you? Where are you calling in from?
From Balsall Common, just outside Coventry, UK.
Ah, yes. We spoke to you earlier today. I said to you about my mum used to see, Coventry burning. What's your thoughts, or what do you want to say on the show?
I don't know. I think everything in life is a gamble. I've ex-forces 8 years. I've worked in recruitment for 25 years.
Did you say ex-forces?
All sorts of businesses. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Oh no, it was a good time. I joined as a boy, left as a man. Served in the Gulf War twice in Bosnia. Got a medal for saving lives instead of taking them, which I'm quite proud of.
Thank you.
But I've worked with big companies, AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly, down to the small sort of SMEs, which is where I'm working at the moment. And they all come with risk. And no matter what size company, they all take risks. People's jobs with whatever size company they're working for is always a risk. People get redundant with big established companies as well as the small ones. So everything in life is a bit of a gamble. You just got to look at the odds and try and suss out a route to make it worth your while. I suppose that's what it's like with shares. I'm retiring in 15 years. If I can do that earlier, that'd be great. But the way I see it is I've got 15 years of education in trading, so I can actually do this in my retirement. That's my plan anyway.
Nice. You're absolutely right. Life is a gamble. Even if you want to educate yourself and tell yourself that you know everything, you've read all the books, you've studied all the charts, I could speak to every CEO directly every day. I'll speak to several. But just because I think I know a few things still doesn't mean you know what's going to go up on the stock. You got more chance of it. But you see, for me, I am very privileged. Well, we all are. We all have a job. We all earn money. Otherwise, you wouldn't be investing, right? I decided to make my job YouTube, and I make no bones about it the focus for me, as it should be for everybody else as well, is invest income, earn money, don't waste it, don't have a drain, and invest. Like I've always said, invest everything and spend the rest. Poor people spend and invest the rest. I every penny I have, it works for me. And that is no gamble. There's no gamble. Me getting up in the morning and making myself, well, not making myself. I love doing it, but getting up every morning and working isn't a gamble. It's just living the best of yourself, and you can control that. You can't control what the stock market does. We can't control if suddenly Vladimir Putin tonight thinks, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not getting much attention on the news tonight. It's all about Israel. I think I'll drop a bomb on England. I think I'm going to create some havoc tonight. We can't control that. And then the stock market goes down in the morning. I go, oh, bloody hell, now I'm down. It's okay. I just buy the dip, but I can control me getting up in the morning, having a shower, washing my face, having a shave, and coming in, putting a show on. But we're all relying on somebody else, though. Nothing is completely independent. This show doesn't work without YouTube, doesn't work without power, doesn't work without you. It isn't just me completely in control of everything, is it? I rely on other external sources to make all this work, as does everybody else. And like I often say from the song Sunscreen, don't congratulate yourself too much if you get it right. It's a 50-50 chance for you, as it is for everybody else. And don't berate yourself too much either. It's also 50% chance for you, as it is everybody else. But I think what Brian Bynum said was right. As someone who's worked, you can tell all the numbers he's got, the statistics. You increase your chances of success by understanding how it works. And I think, Chris, you're understanding that as a trader. Sensei will definitely understand that, What we do see a lot, and you see it in the chat all the time, and what you don't see is the thousands of messages and emails I get from people every day.
You want me to be back?
Saying,
Tomorrow?
let me just mute Zach a moment. I get this every single day. No matter how many times I say it on my show, it's your investment, your money, you make the decisions. People message me every day and say, what should I buy? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? And then they feel, when they do buy it, that it's their best friend. They now love Tesla. It's great. Tesla loves me, and I love Tesla, and I'm a proud owner of Tesla. It doesn't mean anything. The stock doesn't care, doesn't know you own it, and all the rest of it. So, we need to really understand that, the stock doesn't care you own it, just control what you can control. Just take care of what you can control yourself.
Yeah, I very briefly worked for a motorbike company, and I went for my interview, and they said, "Well, why would you want this job?" And I said, "Well, I love motorbikes. I was in my 20s, just left the forces, and I was like, oh, I love motorbikes." They said, "Yeah, we don't want you to love motorbikes. We want you to love making money, because that's why we're doing it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was quite young. I was new to business, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be commercial. You don't have to fall in love with the product or the business product that you're selling. You have to fall in love with the fact of providing a service for that end user, for the experience, for what it means, not necessarily what the actual product is.
Yeah, you're right. I would describe it slightly differently. For me, I couldn't care. Honestly. I couldn't care less. My portfolio is at 132,000. It's great. It's better than it was at 5. But I'm not spending it. I don't know what the money's for. I don't know when I'll ever spend it. What I love doing is getting up and entertaining a live audience. The money takes care of itself. If you provide service and value, it's what you just mentioned there, right? The money takes care of itself. Be mindful that, hey, my NVIDIA videos are more popular than the other ones. Let's make more of them. You can see me at the moment making NVIDIA videos all the time because everybody wants to watch them. No one really cares about Virgin Galactic at the moment. Sorry, Sensei. Sorry, Zachzate. If I make a video on that, I'll get 400 views. Today I've got 10,000 on NVIDIA, right? So I like making videos. I like doing this job. The money takes care of itself. So whatever you do, if you're providing a service and a value, the money will take care of itself to a certain degree.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Zach, sorry, not Zach, I beg your pardon. I'll come to you in a moment. But Sensei, you were listening to what Brian was saying a few moments ago about improving the odds, really knowing his numbers. You as a chart man, and I've listened to you. Again, you're like me. You don't do the chart show on a Sunday. I love saying that. The chart show on Sunday. I feel like we're on top of the pops. The chart show on Sunday, cash in the attic, as it's known by its friends, right? Is you love, and I've heard you say it, the art of trading. You've learned and you understand and you enjoy seeing the patterns and the trends and how it all works. But so you understanding it is not just guessing and gambling and hoping, is you're trying to increase your odds of winning. But you love, again, you like to make money. We all quite like making money because it's going to be useful at some point when we don't have it, I guess. That's the way we look at it. But you like talking to an audience like I do, entertaining. We have a different style, but you entertain nevertheless. And you like to provide charts because you find them fascinating, as I like making production videos.
Yeah. No, I loved what he was saying. I mean, that's what I've always said. It's this is not people say, oh, day trading is gambling. Well, if you don't have the right information, it is, but it's more like counting cards at a blackjack table. You've got the odds in your favor. You're taking a risk towards scenario where the risk really does outweigh the reward is really outweighing the risk. So you can take a trade, and even if you win 3 out of 10 times, you're going to make money. Walking into casino. If you don't know anything about day trading, you might as well just go in and put 20 grand on and just either short and long, because if you go in, as Brian was saying very well, is if you go to a roulette table, if you do those bets, if you do those day trades one at a time and you have no idea what's going on, you're definitely going to lose. And that's why that figure is so high. So what we try to do on a Sunday show, what I try to teach with the charts, I actually do 2 different things, if people have noticed. One is I'm talking to the traders, the ones that want to see if their opinion is valid, to see what I'm thinking, to try and get more information about this specific stock. If they're trading, it always helps to get someone else's perspective. And that's for the day trading people. But I also take a different approach because I really don't think day trading is for everyone. I take an approach where I look at specific levels on the medium term. I look at specific buy zones for a long-term position as well. I think that's what's more suitable for people. I think it's better to DCA into a position. I don't think, if you know nothing about markets, best way to invest is just invest when you can. DCA. If you know something about the markets, which I think a lot of people here do, the best way to invest is look at specific levels. Don't DCA randomly, but DCA at these points where in history we've got bounces where we see bullish divergence, and you ladder in that way. You've got specific levels, you have it in mind. I'm going to buy some here, I'm going to leave some on the side to buy at this level, I'm going to leave some to buy at the side at this level. And then you have specific levels to sell out of your long-term position because you're making a lot of money in a short space of time. So I try to structure the show that we've got enough for day traders that like to do it. Sometimes I day trade. And we've got enough information for that for the week ahead, for example. But when I do most of my crypto coins, when I do most of my stocks, I'm giving long-term targets because that's what I think most people should be doing rather than day trading. I think day trading is a very difficult art to get hold of. It is mostly about emotions, and as humans, it takes a lot, many years to get your emotions under control to be able to take day trades. I still struggle day to day with it. It's something very hard to get around, but just getting the odds in your favor is what we're doing. Just getting that the chance over 50%, getting it over to the 55% region, then over time we end up winning. So I really did relate to what Brian was saying earlier.
Yeah, there's somewhere in between as well, though. As you know, in October I took a vacation. I did 19 trades and 19 wins. Because every time I was trading, it wasn't the normal day trade. It wasn't try to find the trend, looking at a chart, whatever. Everything I bought, and I won 19 times out of 19, is I bought what I could own forever. So it wasn't technically a day trade, because I bought something and several of them were sold within a minute, several were sold within the day, and several were the day after. And currently I'm still in the Coca-Cola one, the last one, the 19th trade. But each time I bought something, I bought it knowing I can own this. I don't care if it goes lower. I can buy some more if I'm in that position, or I can just hold this. I did it with the S&P several times because there were some dramatic macro conditions that drove it down. I thought that's ridiculous. The S&P shouldn't be going down 3% today. There's no need for that, really. Let's take the profit, buy it back, and did that. Then Enphase oversold because of the earning. Coca-Cola because of the way people read the earnings. I still think it's great going forward. And the E. coli situation on McDonald's, that was another one. That was an overreaction. But all of those stocks, if it hadn't bounced back up again, 3 or 4%, each one was about 2, 3, 4%, I could have owned it. I could have just stayed in it. I wasn't bothered. I wasn't trying to make a profit. I was trying to take advantage of a discount to protect my money from it going down further. So all I did was move from one asset that was, wobbly, take the profit, buy it back, or buy something else that I felt was undervalued, and that's a difference. I think that's not day trading. You're chasing something. You're not really you don't really want to own the company. You want to sell it in 5 minutes. You want to scalp it, get rid of it. You don't really care about it. You don't know what it really is. I know what Enphase is inside and out. I know what Coca-Cola is inside and out. I know what McDonald's is and the S&P inside and out. So I don't mind if it goes down further. If it goes down further and I've like my Coca-Cola trade, I couldn't buy any lower because I can't add any more money. And I have to wait until January the 1st to transfer money and buy some more, which I will if it's still down. If it's even down 1%, I don't care. It was down a few more. I'll buy it there. And then I'll take probably 10, 15% off it, I think, and then buy back the S&P. So again, I don't mind owning it. It's going to pay me dividends anyway. So day trading is you're either chasing it with emotion, thinking that you've discovered the greatest stock, and I think that's a big gamble and the wrong thing to do, or you've simply because you read the news and you read what's going on and you know the value, you're happy to own that business. It's just on sale right now. I look at it like this: if I like Head and Shoulders shampoo, and in January there's a sale on, or a Black Friday, and it's now 80% off, I'm always going to use it. I always want to own it. Of course, I should buy it. And that's it. I look at the stock market the same way. If I love that product and I know that product inside and out, and I can use that product, I can own it and not have to sell it, not have to worry about it, I buy it on sale. That's it. So that's how I scalp trade or day trade.
Does the story then behind the brand, behind the company, is that an important part for you when you're selecting a stock?
Yeah. When I would not buy a stock. Well, let's rephrase that. I don't buy stocks. I buy companies. When I buy a company, I know the management. Some of them I've spoken to, CEOs. Obviously I've not spoken to the CEO of Coca-Cola or the S&P or McDonald's, but for that matter. But others I've spoken to when I've talked about it on the show. Never ended up buying those stocks though, but I've never talked to the big CEOs. So hopefully one day I will. But when I buy a business, I am aware of what Sensei thinks from a technical point of view. I'm aware of what his charts are saying. It's why I pop in on a Sunday sometimes and say, Sensei, what do you think of this? And he'll do a little chart on something like that. I'm always quite interested what his views are on the S&P. He's looking at the technicals and the way other traders are looking at it. But for me, buying a business, I look at the balance sheet. Has it got a good a balance sheet, not too much cash? It knows how to use its cash. It puts its cash to work. Like me, I believe in cash working for you, not just sitting in a pile of money in a bank. Otherwise, I can do that myself. Is the management doing the right thing for the shareholder? We often forget that these companies are run by human beings that sometimes run off with the money, don't really care, get lazy, not that disciplined. We got people like Peter Rawlinson, who pays himself insane amounts of money to run the company into the ground. The only one's getting rich is him. Can't buy that. You can't buy how can you buy a company because they say the Lucid car is the best electric car in the market? Maybe it is. But how can you buy a company? What you're buying is not the product. Otherwise, I'd just buy the car. I'm buying the company, and the company is being run by a guy who overpays himself. So that's no good. Walk away. Not interested in that. It's got to make sense. So the CEO has got to be a good CEO. Pays himself a good wage, but he's not robbing the bank. Has the company got history? Not interested if it's only been going around for 5 minutes. I'd rather wait for it to go up and know what I'm buying than guessing what it might be. Is it proprietary? Can anyone come along and do what Apple does? No. Can anyone do what Coca-Cola does? No, they can't. There's no way. Because Coca-Cola isn't Coke. It isn't cans of Coke. It's a bottling business. And I've read so much information, understand about the bottling business, that Coca-Cola could not be replaced tomorrow. It'd be impossible. The infrastructure is built into everything. So they're proprietary. They're unique. They're special. So I can buy that and I can own that. I'm looking at the earnings. It's why I cover the earnings, not just for the $5 super chat, but for my own understanding of how that stock is being affected by its earnings, but how it reacts to everybody else's earnings. You can see the correlation. If one earnings does well, the other one does, and it's a similar sort of thing. You can see all the tech stuff does well and all the rest of it. I'm looking at enterprise money. I'm looking at businesses spending money with each other. And then, that's how I identify it. I don't identify Coca-Cola or J&J or McDonald's or the S&P as a great asset because Warren Buffett said so or because someone on YouTube said so. Not that I don't care what they say or don't value what they say. I want to understand why they think that. So I study it, not just they said it, so hey, I must do it. How many people, I would imagine if I did a poll, I'd guess right now, and this is based upon my comments every day, my statistics. I've got so much data now. I could sell my data. The amount of data I've got on people, seriously, and stocks, I could sell it. I could write a book, right? I can read it because I see so much data every day. I would imagine if I did a poll, 90% would say they buy the S&P because of some external influence. They've heard the S&P 500 is the best thing to buy. I'm going to buy that. Without even knowing what's in its prospectus, what its actual allocation is. I bet you 90% would be, yep, I'm buying the S&P. And they'll be okay. And then they'll tell themselves they're a really good trader and they're really smart. No, they're not. You don't know anything about what you just bought. You were right. It's a good asset to buy. Well done, you. But you're just following a trend. Same as Tesla. Most people don't know what Tesla is at all. And we can see it all the time. So I don't want to be that lemming. I don't want to be that guy. Sensei's right. Educate yourself. Learn how it works. Brian Bynum's right. Do the numbers. Learn how it works. You know what? 2 words. There's only 2 words you need in this business. Education. Learn stuff. It's hard to learn stuff. Most people can't be bothered to learn it. Learn stuff. Educate yourself. And the other word would be discipline. Know yourself. Stand by what you know is right. And don't listen to the noise. Have discipline. Have patience. Wait. Wait for the opportunity. And if the opportunity doesn't come your way, let it go.
Yeah.
Focus on what you do have, not what you don't have. Who cares? Who cares that somebody else has got more than me? I'm thrilled to bits that I always like to have a go at Zach Zate. He gets thousands of dollars to do a flooring, right? He makes more money than me than doing this. And I'm so happy and proud for him that he does. And he should. He's got a great skill. It's not as good as me. It's unfair world. I should earn more than him. But that's how it is. And I'm happy for him. I care about what I've got. Yes, Zach. Oh, hang on, you're muted. You're muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, sorry, Zach.
I wake up every morning with expectation. That's my word. If I expect, first of all, is for myself to get to work, to get the money I need to support myself, my wife, my house, my life. But then, as what left, I do invest, I do care about my personal life, my hobbies, and my expectation for myself are the first. Now, to react to I don't trust nobody. I like my coffee with milk and sugar because it's my contract, it's my name on it. Like your shows in Vegas, you couldn't be in Hawaii and let somebody handle the show. Would you trust him? I demand perfection. It's my signature, it's my vision. I like my coffee with milk and sugar because I'm going there and I'll check my job. And the last thing, when I cut myself in shave, I'm the only one who bleeds. So I put extra powder, I put extra soap, smooth. I got the 5 razor in my shaver, and that's safety. But my expectation is what leads me. Also with the companies I'm collecting.
Thank you for that. Chris, did I answer your question? Did that answer your question? How I choose a stock business?
Yeah, you did. But it's like I've got my Nvidia stocks, and I bought those for the long term because I can see the potential over a period of time. But it still doesn't stop me from looking at the prices every day. I'm still looking and getting that buzz, thinking, is it going to go up today? It's even though I've bought in for the potential long term. I'm still looking at it in short term, and I need to get that discipline you're talking about, and that patience. I've never been one for being patient. I'm known as Mr. Get Shit Done, and I like to get shit done as quickly, but obviously thought through. So yeah, that's something that I'm having to learn.
How old are you, Chris?
I'm 50.
You're 50.
Yeah.
I thought like that at 50. A lot changes in the next few years. When I was younger, and even 50, if you told me I had to wait, it would take time, I couldn't. Anything that was a year away. It's why I couldn't have ever become a vet or a doctor. If you said to me at 18, I've got to go to university for 6 years. Oh my God, I ain't got time for that, right? I can't wait that long, right? But as I get older, I can see the value of patience and the value of time, and invested time is the best investment you ever make. Now, and this is why I'm going to get to 100,000 subscribers and 1 million subscribers, because I don't mind seeing 4 or 5 years ahead and working at every step every single day. If you can't see that far ahead and you're prepared to see that far ahead and work that far ahead, you never get anything that's of any great value. Because what you can get in 5 minutes ain't that good, right? Getting 1 million subscribers is a really big deal. I mean, I'll be less than 0.5% of all the channels in the world that have that, right? It's 0.8 of 1% that over 100,000, right? So I'll be in somewhere in the region of 0.5%. But I can see, I can commit now to 4 or 5 years because I think it's no time at all. When I was a kid, that was a million years. I couldn't think 5 minutes ahead, let alone 5 bloody years ahead. Now I can think what's of real value takes a bit of time, and I'm okay with it. And I said today, like you just said there, you look at the numbers. Whatever excites you is good. Like Zach said, he likes perfection. He likes to get up and do something right, and it's his signature on it, right? If that excites you and that gets you in the game, brilliant. Whatever gets you out of bed, brilliant. Whatever you need to get going. Some people it's a cup of coffee. Some people it's a stock market. Doesn't matter, really. But like I said this morning, I don't think you're on the show this morning. I said, and I've seen virtually every single subscriber. Every time that number rolls around, I pretty much see it. I've got it on the screen. I look on my phone. I'm all the time looking at that. And I see it because every single time it rolls around, that's a real person. So that's my little number, and I love it. I don't wait for it to get to another 1,000 once a week. I look at it every, I wake up when I wake up and go to the toilet at 2:00 in the morning. I get my phone and I go swipe it to refresh the screen, and it's gone up one more. I go, look at that, and I'll tell Leah in the morning. She doesn't really want to know when I first wake her up. I've had 100 subscribers during the night. Yeah, I know, you told me that yesterday. Yeah, but I don't, you know. So I get that. Numbers is great. Whatever encourages you to do the right thing. And by the way, I did just see it go from 54 to 55. There you go. So, yeah. You need something, don't you? You need something to get you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, you do. And I love what I do for work, but
what do you do now?
Well, I work in recruitment, so I've done that for 25 years. I've just flown back from spending 3 years in Tokyo. So I was recruiting directors, CFOs, commercial directors for the big pharmaceutical companies, and some medical device companies, helping them establish a footprint in APAC. So recruiting India, recruiting South Korea, Japan, Australia, Singapore. Yeah. So it was a good time.
What do you think about Japanese people?
Japanese people. Okay, well, Japanese people are really split in down two different types of people. So you've got those that are extremely worldly wise and open to all sorts of cultures, and then you've got others which are extremely closed off to having their culture diluted, and they don't like to see foreigners come into the country and deliberately disengage with you as well, and that's quite difficult. You've got a very strong hierarchical structure. So you need to make sure you can conform to Japanese businesses, which is quite difficult. So I spent a lot of my time working with European and American companies wanting to penetrate Japan, and setting up a sales division or a commercial division in Japan. But Japanese people generally are really nice people. If you're there as a tourist, you're going to love it. If you're there to work, it's a little bit different. I've been all around the world in the armed forces, but I did feel a little bit of racism towards myself when I was in Japan at times. And it's strange because being in the UK, I never realised what being a minority was, because I wasn't a minority. But when you put into that environment, then you get a real strong sense of, I'm the foreigner here, and I'm the one that's bringing somebody else's culture into this environment. I'm the, I could be seen as the toxic person, and it is a little bit jarring, and some people don't like it, but you only get to see that when you're actually working a country.
Thank you for sharing that. I asked for a reason, because we were talking about Japan this morning, how the Japanese people, when there's sporting events, are famous around the world for always cleaning up the dressing rooms and the stadiums.
Yes.
And I've seen that firsthand.
Super clean.
Yeah, really amazing. I want to make a comment to Derek. We're talking about research. Derek, you're in the chat right now. I've got a comment to you. And this is a really important point you've mentioned here. I missed your reaction to my question. If you could do the fundamentals review, could you do that? You're talking about a stock, and you said alpha spread is not fully caught up with the numbers. I'm going to say this is important. This. And I've learned more and more about this. Now I've been invited into the sort of inner circle, if you like, of being able to put a question to an official earnings call. I can't believe that's happening. I'm so excited about that. Going to hear me on the call. I'll be broadcasting me on the call right next to Bank of America. Now we go to Martyn Lucas Investor. Martyn, have you got a question? Yep, I got a question. Can't wait to do it. I got a question for you. You listen to me. That's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. Just like that. Bank of America, I'm going to come on and be all like that. Yeah, just like that. Anyway, the reason why I want to answer your question, Derek just commented, he's looking at a stock, numbers are not updated yet, and so on and so forth. And I really want to explain this because it's really important. And as I do this, and as I speak to CEOs and all these people, I learn this. It's really important. Retail investors, 99.9% of retail investors, when they buy a stock and they do research, the only thing they have is online literature, Google, an app, software, whether it's TradingView, whether it's a YouTube channel like me, whether it's a website with data on it, whatever. And I've learned this, so take this from the horse's mouth, right? spoken to several CEOs, several managers of the operating systems like Seeking Alpha. I've spoken to TradingView. I've spoken to Alpha Spread, many of the CEOs and people that work there. And what happens is it's not always as reliable and as accurate as we might think it is. Okay? And that's all that retail investors have. Remember, the big money, the real money, the Warren Buffetts, they're not looking at Alpha Spread. They're not looking at Seeking Alpha. They're not looking at YouTube channels. They're not watching me. They're sitting down with the CEO and the accountant. They're sitting down with the people who own the business, looking at their actual numbers, the numbers that they've got in their office, not printed on a website, right? And they know what they're buying and they're building relationships. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's why I don't apologize for making friends with CEOs, hedge fund managers, because they're the ones who know what's going on and they're the ones who can influence a stock. Now, what I learned was, after speaking to these different companies, these websites have to go to a pool to bring in the information. They've all got the same information, right? There's all these pools of information, like terminal, like a Bloomberg terminal. There's all these terminals they go in, and depending on what subscriptions they have, permissions they have, how much money they pay, yada, yada, yada. They siphon off their information to their website, and it just gets displayed in a different format, a different interface that they designed, their web designer designed, or whatever. So that means is sometimes information, depending on their subscriptions, depending on their, access, their information might be slightly out of date or whatever. But you can't always rely on what you see on Robinhood on the app and go, that's what's happening with the company, or Seeking Alpha or Alpha Spread, and think that's it. I now know as much as the CEO, because you don't. And also, having just spoken to Mobix about the upcoming earnings, I know how the earnings questions work, how all that works now. So what we see as an end user is after the fact. There's already stuff going on that we don't know about until it gets to us. And by that point, the people with the big money have already made the moves and the retail investors playing catch up. That just makes it even more difficult as a retail investor trying to beat Wall Street. It's not a level playing field. Now, it's not all crooked either. Those that run YouTube channels will say, come on, people, like Roaring Kitty. We're going to stuff it to the man. We're going to beat Wall Street. Let's all drive the market down or drive it up or whatever. It's not about that. People aren't sitting around plotting against the individual retail investor. They're not. They don't even know you exist. They don't care. They're too busy running businesses to care about Fred Blogs sat on the toilet trying to scalp trade Robinhood or GameStop. They're not interested in that. But just know, and that's partly why I try to do this channel, is build relationships with people that run the bloody company that can give us information, right? So if you are using Seeking Alpha and you've signed up for it and you've paid all this money, or you're using Alpha Spread and you're going, it's not quite right or whatever, it's only as good as the source. And it's not always up to date. It's not always accurate. It's the best. Remember, these CFOs in charge of the data, the accounts of the business, their accounting isn't always accurate. Look what happened the other day to SMCI. They fired their information was misleading. So the people at the business aren't always accurate. And then you've got to wait for them to supply that information to the pool. And then you've got those websites which have got to suck out that information from the pool and then translate it into their infrastructure and their interface. So just understand that when you're buying a stock that, it's not all, you don't know everything because you've read it on Robinhood and you've seen it in the app, and now you can come on here and say, oh, you're an idiot. I think Tesla's the best stock in the world, and this is why, because I know stuff. What do you know? Have you spoken to Elon Musk? Have you spoken to the accountant? Then you know nothing. You know what everybody else knows, and that's it. You don't know anything. So get off it, right? So just be aware of that.
Martin, I'm going to have to go, but thanks. I look forward to seeing everyone on Sunday.
Yes. See you on Sunday. Thanks for calling in, Sensei. Appreciate you very much indeed. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Sorry
I'm
for
going to have
Peace,
to go as
shalom,
well.
salam.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm going to have to go as well, but thank you so
That's
much.
fine.
I'm definitely coming back, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Chris. Cheers, mate. Enjoyed the conversation. Zach Zay, you're off. I've got to end this call anyway. I can't be talking to you, all you buggers, all night long. I've got a life to lead here.
I can talk all day long, you know that.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So answer for what the conversation was about yesterday in the extra. We were listening about the genius. This guy is a genius. He found that company. This guy is a genius. And then they came. There is no geniuses in the market. And I'm
No,
coming and I'm telling you, the market is the genius of them all. For example, and you
correct.
know me with the Virgin Galactic, looking at to Sensei Sundays, talking about the higher highs, lower lows. So Virgin Galactic getting to $8. Wow, we got out of the 30, 40 cents, the all-time money, because we got stuck for like half a year. We stuck between the 30, 40 cents old money. So I'm keep grabbing, but then, oh my God, we're gonna go out of the 40. I'm a genius. I know everything about Virgin Galactic. Day after 680. So I bought more, but then they sneeze and they hit 816. So, okay, we're already talking about the higher highs again. Okay, we're going forward. 698 today, and yesterday 799, 798. So even if I think I'm genius about this company, and you can tell me you could buy and sell and buy and sell. No, I'm holding. I love the company. I'm holding and I'm collecting more.
Thank you for that words of wisdom. You're absolutely right. You're spot on. MSK, final words from you.
I think it'll take too long if you know what? I'm just going to be honest, Zach. You mentioned about having expectations for yourself. When you wake up, what you want to do with your business, etc. Um, I have a different view about that, and I don't want to hold Martin too long because I'm sure
You're
Leah's
okay.
like, Martin, I'm waiting for you right now. But I say, wake up every day knowing that every action, every goal is delivered at your best. Knowing that you're doing your best. Patience isn't necessarily the best, but what you can do in life, what you know you can do is the best, right? Your expectations of delivering a business isn't necessarily what's going to be the best for the business. That's what I've realized. I know I'm a young man. I'm 34 years old. I'm just gonna hold my hands up. But I've made a lot of mistakes in life, and through those mistakes, I've learned a lot of lessons. Okay, and also I hope Brian Bynum calls back again, because I know exactly what he talks about when he says 3 sigma, because that's 3 standard deviations from the mean. That means he's expecting 99.7% accuracy. You can't do that in the market, in the trading market. You can't do that. So I hope we can have another discussion. I was remaining quiet because I didn't want to jump in. But 3 sigma means 99.7% accuracy, 3 standard deviations away from the mean. Okay, you can't expect that from the market. I'm sorry. Anyway, next time we can have that conversation. But Zach, I love you, but wake up every day knowing that you're the best in what you do. I think that's the best that we can do. You know what I'm saying? And I think Martin knows
Yes.
what I'm saying, because he wakes up every day. He has his shave. He's looking prop and prim. He knows that he's coming to the show like, look, I'm putting all 100% effort of what I can do. So just give me 100% attention, of your time. Give me 100% effort in terms of what time you can give me. That's what Martyn's asking for. I can see that every single day that I tune into the show. And that's what I love about this show. And I know, Zach, you can say that. You can see that too. That's what we love about this show, right? That's what makes it a family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every word of yours, MSK, in a rock, which means we're
Yeah.
coming from so many areas, different cultures, and
Yep.
Martyn know how to mix us all together and get us to one family.
Yeah.
Apart from your girlfriend, she doesn't like me very much.
No,
My
no, no, no.
wife, my
Oh, your wife.
wife.
Sorry, your wife. Yeah, he said he was in the
Zach's
chat the
wife
other day.
loves
He was
Zach.
in the extra
No,
channel the
no
other
doubt
day.
about it.
And he went, I just got to tell you the truth. My wife doesn't like you very much. He wasn't
She
talking
jelly.
to me. He was telling everybody else.
The girls are
Zach,
jelly
that's
at
a joke.
you. You take our attention.
Dear, oh dear. I don't want to get in the middle of all this. Hell, what the hell?
No, but
Oh,
anyway, I just at the end of the day, you know what? We gel because we're genuine. We're genuine people. We're genuine
best
men and
family in the
women in
world.
this channel. We're a family.
Best
You know what
family
I'm
in the
saying?
world. Yep. Best family in the
Yeah.
world.
On that note, I'm gonna leave it there.
All right. All right. I'm going to end this show. Thank you guys for calling in. Until next time, cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
MSK and Zach Zate right to the end. Lovely stuff. Thank you for calling in. Well, as you can see, as we said, no surprise really. The market has gone up. It's liked this ceasefire. Don't expect 10%. Expect 10% by the end of the year because that's what we're expecting from the market anyway. But tonight was a good little rally. As expected, I hope you didn't suddenly decide to buy it. Some of you asked, oh, should I start buying now? No, you should have bought when it went down. And then now you just enjoy the fact that we're up. And once again, there it is. Another all-time high today. Again, $133,000, 432. What does it mean? Nothing. I'm not going to go out and spend it. I wouldn't even know what to do with it anyway. It just sits there. But it's nice. But what's more important, what's much more important, is that. That is what's important to me. 39,655 people have chosen to join us here on this channel. That's what's important. So that's it from me. Going to finish up with my final thoughts. And I like to do this now. I like to get very moody about it because I can. It's my show, right? I go over here and I turn that off. There you go. How about that? How about that? Let me bring that up there. And let's just wrap up the evening. Let me clear away that. I'm going to send you all now to the extra channel, which runs now 24 hours a day. And you can continue the conversation, supporting each other, whatever it is you wish to say. Let me redirect you because I do have a premiere coming out shortly. I'll be sending you there once you're in the extra channel. Let me give you the link to the extra channel. I've got a big premiere coming out in a minute, actually. In about half an hour, I think it is. Let me just check the time for that. The actual time is... It's at 6:30. Oh, got a bit of time. So I'm going to send you all to the extra channel. So my final thoughts. I think it's important to mention on such an important evening. Wherever you are today, whether you are in any of the corners of the world, remember, if you're living in a state of peace right now and no one's bombing you right now and you've got food on the table right now and you are in a privileged position. People often say they feel blessed. I don't use that phrase. I don't particularly like it because it just sounds so egotistical, in my opinion. I'm blessed, like I'm more important than everybody else. I don't think that. at all. I was very lucky to have met Leah and have a wonderful life living here and having this wonderful studio. Yes, I've put work in. I put effort in. I deserve it as much as anyone else. No more and no less. I'm just lucky. I'm healthy today. Things are working today. You're here today. No one's bombing me in a war, so I'm lucky, right? Just remember those, though, that are not having such a good time right now. We hope this does bring the end to the war between Israel and Lebanon, and it holds. We then hope it then transcends over to Gaza, and they can have peace too. And we can all wake up tomorrow and everyone's happy as Larry. I'm sure that won't be the case. There's always a war somewhere. All you can do is do your best, be happy, enjoy life, be aware that other people aren't having such a wonderful time. Don't congratulate yourself too much. Don't berate yourself too much either. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, willing and happy and ready for another day. Only one more day to go because we're not here Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So hopefully you'll join me in the morning and we can have some laughs and we can drink tea together and we can have a bit of fun, see our portfolios go up, do some research, educate ourselves and look forward to another day when the sun will shine and then the sun will set and we'll do it all over again. Some people say life gets a bit predictable. I love it. I'm quite happy with the day being the same again the next day because I'm doing exactly what I want to do. And hopefully you'll join me in the morning. That's it from me. Have a wonderful evening. We wish everyone a peaceful night. And I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow. Stay right where you are. It'll take you into the extra channel. You can hear me review stocks, conversation, chat with each other, and keep the family together. If not, that's okay. Maybe you're sick of it by now, and you'll see me in the morning. As always, take care of yourselves and each other.